Now, your weather authority forecast from meteorologist Hannah Gard.
We're continuing the streak of beautiful days. Nothing but blue skies out on the lakefront. It has been a little bit breezy today, but not looking too bad. We did have a couple of fair weather clouds pop up for parts of the South Shore, but we're not seeing any storm cloud activity right now. Down to the south, though, you can see these storms popping up on what looks like a line just offshore. We have some remaining boundary left over from a front that moved through quite a few days ago, but that's what's been keeping it dry, the humidity low. Now we're still hot, so it wasn't a cold front. We're in the 80s, 90s out there across the region, but those storms are staying out of our area because that is far down to the south of us. But we're starting to see storms pop up over to the west in places like New Mexico and Texas, where we have a strong low pressure system that's going to head our way as we go throughout this week and eventually bring us a cold front. So right now we have that big spin. This is in the upper levels that you can see on the water vapor. It goes counterclockwise for low pressure. You can also see one that's just moving off screen to the east. The reason we've been so warm is because we're between those two weather systems. So we actually have an upside down U shape trying to form here. That's an area of high pressure. So that means sinking air. It's been keeping it warmer. But this big low that's starting to spark off those storms is going to head our way and bring with it a cold front on the surface. You can see that on the surface. We have that counterclockwise spin over Salt Lake City, and the storms are well down to the south of it because those winds in the upper levels are going in different directions, meaning there's a lot of lift for storm activity there. So we'll be watching this front for multiple things, not just the cold air, but we want that rain. We're in bad drought conditions, so any rain will help us out. We'll definitely get those cooler temperatures though. So here's that high. That low is going to move across to the east, but notice it picks up to the north. Where we see that storm activity is closer to the low. So we're so far down to the south of it. We're going to get the cool air and that northerly flow by the weekend, but I don't think we're going to see much of those storms. But temperature wise, we go from being above normal, where we're in the upper 80s, even some 90s through Friday, down into the 70s. Sunday will even stay in the 70s for the start of the week. And look at those overnight lows for the North Shore Saturday morning. 50s, we have low 60s for places like Homa, and then into Sunday we could be even cooler, nearing those 50s even just south of the lake. So it's going to bring in some really nice fall feeling air, which we need because we have been above normal for most of the summer, and especially through the past couple of weeks we've just been seeing that heat. But because of that and the lack of rainfall, we're still seeing those exceptional drought conditions. We have some extreme drought conditions in this lighter red, and we need the rain. But if you look at that rain potential map, it's mainly over to Oklahoma and Texas, where that low is now, before it pulls to the north and takes the rain away with it. Even though we will see that front come through, I think we could see a couple of storms pop up as it does mainly Friday, depending on the timing of that system. As we get closer, we'll have a better idea of when we might start to see those storms. Could be in the morning or push into the afternoon, but at least we're going to get that fall air. Right now, we're seeing those temperatures in the 80s across the area. We do have that easterly breeze. It's very windy offshore, so if you're headed out on the waters today, tomorrow, we do have that small craft advisory in effect. We also have coastal flood warnings or advisories for those east-facing shorelines, where we're seeing about a foot above normal tides. Now, we could see maybe a coastal shower or two tomorrow, but it really looks unlikely. It's just going to stay breezy, and then we see that front approaching. Now, looking at the tropics quickly, we just have Philippe left out there. Tropical season is not yet over. That is impacting parts of the northern Lesser Antilles, but that will head up to the north as we go throughout the next couple of days. But guys, definitely good news that we're going to see those warm temperatures flip to some nicer temperatures this weekend. 70s, 50s for the North Shore. That'll feel really good.
Hard to believe.
We love it.
It is. After the summer we've had,
yes,
this is going to feel amazing.
Love it. Great. Thanks, Hannah. The Saints did